Great. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this transition into May. It's April 29th, and we're here for our morning resonances, deepening into this oasis of love and really broadening our experience of what's meaningful to our hearts, because that's really why we come. We come to be living aspects of this movement of consciousness, this evolutionary consciousness that reveals itself to us through this call. And I feel very humbled at being, in a sense, a conduit or proprietor of this, as many of the Heart Resonance Council members are, and each one of you. So this morning, as we step into this call to wholeness, which is a weekly restorative practice, happy to have Dinama here with me to support and bring forth the resonance. And together, as we're committed to this expression of good of the whole, how we are living as beings, serving and contributing to the greater whole, we have this great opportunity that provides an experience, an embodiment of this, the nature of love itself, the nature of the heart. And for me, that's everything. And this weekend really got to spend some time in that inherent experience and oasis of love. So this morning, that word oasis is coming through, and I'll share more why after we take a few moments with Dinama and deepen into this resonant field. And with that, Dinama, I pass the beautiful talking stick to you.
Our stillness. Let's just pause in that stillness together for a moment and take a deep breath. This is the flow motion of our united field. We can hear ourselves singing to the rhythms of the flow. Feeling our oneness, our wholeness, our unity. This is the space of our sovereignty. And we all know the ecstasy of co-creating consciously together. This is our mutual attraction, what we magnetize as one new earth, reflecting our unconditional love of self. I return the talking stick. Thank you, Shelley.
Ah, I love that, the flow motion. So welcome all that have just joined us to our Global Heart Resonance call. Thank you, Dinama, for being the voice of love coming forth through this unified field of expression. And just simply for those who are new, sorry, for those who are new, this is just an opportunity to come and embody love, express your love, and really weave, as Dinamo was sharing, weave that co-creative vision, that tapestry together by listening, really, really listening to the voice of each person and taking that pause and allowing that integration to happen. So welcome, and you're free to speak 1 to 2 minutes, and as you feel called beyond that. So this morning, our theme is the universal current of love. And I'm very, very touched, for I had the opportunity this weekend to really be in the field and work with in the Akashic realm with the masters and teachers, and deepening into this vibration of response from the field itself. And so I'm just going to read, for those who didn't have a chance to, the theme, and you'll know where we're going. So this comes from the book The Alchemist, which just happened to, in a giant box of all the things my parents were getting rid of, this book sat on the top, and I was wondering, how could this be in the midst of all these New York Times bestsellers? And there it was, and it was for me to bring back to my own heart, and the words and the story just completely has filled the field, and so it will fill yours as well. The boy was beginning to understand that intuition is really a sudden immersion of the soul into the universal current of life, where the histories of all people are connected, and we are able to know everything because it is written there. And that's Santiago the Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. The creative force of nature is the most ineffable force in the universe. In coming to understand this conscious intelligence, we discover this force is really who we are. Why then do we doubt ourselves when we are sincere and present in our hearts and in service to the wholeness of all life? We carry the genetic coding of all time and dimension. We are beginning to understand that even more than like attracts like, light attracts light, and that we can alchemize any distortions of energy instantly. We simply tap into this universal current of life and embrace the reciprocity of energy that flows, informs, and turns possibilities into actualized realities. Today, in our willingness to be still, let's immerse ourselves in the pause and bathe in this universal language of love. Can we surrender fully to the moment, let go of our need to be seen, and receive the guidance that emerges? So just taking a breath there. We open to this beautiful expression of our collective wholeness, which infuses our being individually as whole beings and contribute in contribution to a greater whole. So with that, I open the field, and as you feel called, share from the essence of who you be. Non-complete.
there is a place beyond what I normally experience as the silence, the quietness, where I haven't been before, when I am with you. Something that is emerging is really a quietness that I haven't experienced. It's just that emptiness. And this feeling of, it's like having hundreds of wings to, like a moth, to go towards the light. And each moment just burn one set of those wings. Going willingly to the fire. To become the fountain of God's water, whatever God is. That this is the experience. That is what true alchemy means to me. Is choosing consciously the fire. That is the depth of that silence, that ecstasy, that the co-creation can arise from. This is this is the field, the collective of all the faces that I'm seeing is saying in this moment. I am complete.
This is Dinama. I was just feeling into the ecstasy of our conscious co-creating. It's like the G spot, to follow a Barbara Marx Hubbard metaphor. It's that place of creation, of consciously co-creating, that is the turn on. And I feel that in this deep stillness, there's also this passionate fire, passionate fire. And this is a unified driving force of our manifesting, manifesting in frequency with that passion and vision. And it's very fulfilling to know we're here together and what we are doing, what we are about. I'm complete.
This is Cassandra. When I'm here speaking to and from this collective heart, the love of the whole, it brings me clarity. I get out of me-ness and get into we-ness. This is love. This is self-love and the love of the wholeness. The earth is affected by the emotional state, the being of its people. When we spend more time here, we help offset that which is less than love. I'm complete.
This is Sharon. So I just have this song rising that needs to be sung. So first, when Nahid, before she was about to speak, what I was feeling was like this song arising like butterflies. And I just wanted to bubble out. And then I thought a little bit more, and it was like, I remembered a song I've always loved that I learned at a rainbow gathering many years ago. And as I walked into this rainbow gathering up in, I think it was Oregon, it was like a 5-mile hike in there, all these people, rainbow gathering, and this song was everywhere, and people were singing. From deep within my heart, I hear an everlasting call. From the center of the sun, I liberate my love to all. And the more that I live to give some more. It's the way that I live, and it's what I'm living for. Something like that. So here we are. I wanted to share one thing. I had a client last night call me, client and a friend, and she said her husband is going through all this deep emotional stuff and having feelings. It's really dealing with feelings, and he was very upset, and he wanted to engage her, around these feelings. And she said she just couldn't. She was in a new place, and her experience was, I think, witnessing is what she was talking about. It's just like she wasn't getting engaged. It was wonderful that he was engaging his feelings, but she wasn't getting hooked. She was just able to be there, and it was new for her. And I said, it's so good when you can do that and be able to just be present and not get hooked. And then I said, you can actually respond, not from like having to distance, but from a place of loving compassion. As the person is trying to get you with them on this, and you're like just appreciating that they're going through this, and it's okay. And you just are not in the same place. You're in this higher vibration of love that you can just be there for people. So she was appreciating her own experience of that and being able to share that with me, and the validation of, it's okay not to get hooked. It's wonderful, and to just be and be in a different place. Share that. I'm complete.
Good morning, everyone. This is John in Boulder, and what an amazing group. I was watching a documentary. Maybe some of you have seen it. It's the new Our Planet, I think it's called. This incredible photography, and more than that, the amazing resonant field that comes through all of our other beings on this planet that are not dealing with this conscious awareness as we are, and yet the amazing coordination and pureness of this system of life is so prevalent through everything. And we have a very strange task here of being aware of that system and the capacity to totally screw it up or enliven it and each other. And we've done somewhat of a good job and somewhat of not a good job on this. But I feel like what our group and what's happening on our planet with our species, sometimes I feel like something, somebody, something is observing us and going, oh, look at those sweet little darlings. They're doing this and this. And they have no concept really of the larger picture, but they're trying so hard. One thing in this documentary that fascinated me was the leaf cutting ants that go and they cut these little leaves, and then they just have one thing in mind, I suppose, is to get those leaves in their uniformity back to their den to feed and to rest and so forth and so on. And I feel like sometimes we are like that, only not going with the resonant field in trying to do that, where we're guided and loved and supported. But I feel like what we're doing, and which is miraculous, is coming to a space where we allow ourselves to be guided by that field instead of trying to guide that field. Because when we're trying to guide that field in our at the limited capacity that we have, we're not really taking full advantage. But to rest in this knowing that we are completely supported and guided and moved by this perfection, as all the beings on this planet and the universe are, it's an amazing thing. And my heart opens and my mind relaxes, and there's a sense of that love energy that everyone's talking about that is always completely present and prevalent, and is the juice that brings us all of the amazing possibility. And when we co-create with that energy versus the conflictual modality that we tend to do as human beings and have for centuries, but when we relax that and move into the natural flow of that resonant field, that's when the miracle happens. And when we share that with each other, and then we go into our worlds and we're sharing that, we're being guided by a force so much greater than we can come up with. And when we co-create from that place, it gives me hope that we're going to make it through this whole thing. And it's a grand experience. And so I so appreciate being here with all of you. I feel like we're doing a really good thing. Not that we're any better or any worse than anybody else, because everybody plays their role. But I'm certainly very appreciative of being part of a group of people that are willing to surrender their smaller beliefs and structures in order to rest in the resonant field of something much more grand than our little minds can figure out. So thank you for being here, and thank me for being here. I pass it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rosemary. I apologize for being late. I really had my little sticky note here, but it didn't work that way. I just came back from my walk. It was lovely. So I guess I was where I was supposed to be at the beginning of the call. I just want to say hello. It's, as I just heard whoever that was speak, I absolutely went right into that resonance. So it's a pleasure to be here. Lovely to see you all, and I look forward to sharing this time together. Thank you.
Hi, Sharon Raji here. The thought that emerges for me is one that's been fluttering around for quite some time. And thank you, John, for that reminder of our planet. What surfaces for me is how often, even us conscious ones, consider our Earth to be a victim. And how all the things that are happening to her kind of prove that she's a victim. And in my experience, she is a collective intelligence that is powerful beyond belief. And I have wondered about that concept being put on her, how much that is limiting our ability to co-create with her the changes needed for her, and how much it's limiting her ability to interact with us in a powerful way that she could in taking care of the shift that needs to happen for her and all that is created from her. So I just wanted to put that out this morning, that she is powerful beyond belief. That collective intelligent field that holds this space we call Earth gives us the opportunity to play out what we need to play out for our own evolution, is grand and magnificent. And I would like to encourage us to see her and interact with her and ask her, let her be the directive in the power and bringing forth that shift and change needed in behalf of her and all that she brings to our lives for support and resource. And I'm complete.
This is Sharon in New Jersey again, and I just wanted to add one thing to what you said, because I've been watching Our Planet as well, and and I read a little review of it yesterday and something, and it was the difference with this series to some of the others, the Blue Planet and some of the others, is they are ending each episode with stories of the Earth's resiliency. So there is a focus on the regenerative power and the resiliency that when we do cooperate, when we do take the right actions, the power that's there to come back, to flourish. So just to tie that in. So it's really a good series to watch for that. It's difficult to watch in terms of the facts, but then it does bring that consciousness to bear.
And I would like to add one short statement to what was just spoken. That our bodies, this embodiment, our body is the earth. And when I serve and I ask for what is needed, I am serving the earth field resonance. This, for me, this is it. It is the collective of all, and my body represent this manifestation. This is where I can directly ask for access and receive the guidance and act from that place. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. This is June from California. Although I think, what's going on?
June, can you come closer a little bit? Your voice is very, very softened.
Oh, all right. Is that better? Okay. Again, June from California. And as I'm listening today and allowing myself just to sink deeper into all of the words that are being said and asking myself what alchemy means to me in this context, what I'm realizing is that for me, alchemy really takes place when I take everything that I think I know and put it aside and sit in the unknowing of expectation that I will be given what I need to be given to understand at a deeper level, to experience at a deeper level, to create at this deeper level. That when I go into that not knowing or thinking that, realizing that I don't know, I can get beyond. I can get beyond the barriers of what for me is knowing, because in my knowing I have certain boundaries and certain edges that keep me from the alchemy of opening to letting the universe and the love and the awareness of all those around me and of the earth to penetrate into my own cells, my own being, my own awareness, if I will let that happen. And it's a complete letting go of wanting or needing to have it a certain way, or believing there's only a certain way for it to happen. And so as we each talk about this experience for us, it's such an incredible ability to, or gift to take that in and just, again, let all of this sort of percolate and create a whole new space where things I've never known, or things that I have never imagined, or things that are just so far beyond what my normal everyday life or my deep exploration has given me so far. And so it's it's like the more I can sit in the not knowing, the open, and just open, let it, imagine it percolating in and out of every cell of my body. I know that when I come out of that space, I come out fuller and richer, and I'm able to be more, believe more, know more, hold more than I can from any other space. So I love the topic of today, and of alchemy, and of how it fills me, grows me, expands me, and heals me every moment that I can spend in that space. So thank you for being here, and thank you for your beautiful words. And I pass the talking stick on. Thank you.
I have this meeting that I have to do in about 10 minutes, so I have to leave here. I'm sorry for that, but it was something that was rearranged, so I will be leaving, but thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
This is Dinama. Cellular consciousness are the words I'm hearing. Our cells are completely connected with this unified field. They're little antennas picking up information from the life force of the unified field. And our bodies, our cells are very tuned in with Gaia. We are actually her, her being, living life and an expression. So our communication with her is, for me, very amplified. Hearing and listening and responding to Gaia is it's just a natural response through my cellular consciousness. So I'm just seeing how we're all part of that nervous system of the whole of the earth and feeling our unity as these cells within the greater body. I'm complete.
This is Shelley, and I'm feeling so indebted to her voice. The earth as our body, the earth, the voice of the earth is the voice of the mother, is the voice of creation, is the voice of the field. I feel that she just looks for any way to express herself in this way, and just tracking the voice of alchemy, like everything that we're doing here, the space that we hold for that voice of creation to express itself is an alchemical movement. It is, we are the living alchemists. I mean, I think that's the beauty of it all, is when we realize that we are all alchemists, because we're serving the movement of consciousness itself. We're serving the movement of evolution. However we come in, from whatever angle, from whatever portal we come through, there's this magic and this sense of glory that when we come together, we rise. And anything on earth, given its nourishment and support, grows, evolves. It's nature's best of the best. It's nature's expression. We are that. We are no different than that little, green sprout that comes up through a crack of cement, even. And it's like, I feel that we're learning how to be better listeners. That's the practice here. The practice is we're learning how to become better listeners and be, as everyone's been expressing, this ourselves just open to receive the vibration of love as it's coming through, which we call resonance. We're in resonance with, it's like we're being tuned for wherever we need to be, with whomever we need to be with. I had this experience last night. It was really interesting, where I had this really quiet weekend, and I went to just check in with my parents. They're moving and they're almost 90. And, I just thought, just go check in. And this whole thing happened where all of a sudden my dad just started screaming at me about walking the dog or not walking the dog in a certain place. And I noticed that I just took a breath and I left and I think it's that that was the response of the universe in that moment. Like I feel like I'm learning how to just be in that natural response, so that each one can just be, so that I can be present for myself, hold that field in whatever way I need to. And that was an uncommon occurrence, especially lately. Just haven't had that. But I feel that these challenges that we have, or the Earth's challenges that she's providing for us to experience in a way, do we actually believe that? Do we believe that it's life itself providing us these challenges to awaken to our greater interconnectivity, love, and freedom? So I'm just really grateful always to come into this space, and it's kind of like it's like the alert of the heart. It's like we're all sitting around the fire, and the essence of the matriarchal lineage speaks here. And within that is the balance where we can find we can learn how to listen. And we can learn, like, we're being tenderized, so that we can really be, in a sense, vision makers of the evolving consciousness as it's evolving. So with that, I love you all, and thank you for feeding me here this morning. I'm complete.
We are all learning how to learn from these lessons and process through that personal pain in our personal hearts, and to distill the essence of the lesson and the wisdom of the lesson. And then even to do it collectively, us gathering our personal hearts together and over globally to process out the global pain, to receive the essence of wisdom on a more global level, a conscious level. And we are open to receive this with love and lots of compassion, to feel joy in the end.
The global is this 11 images that I'm seeing on my screen now. And my body is been receiving you, and my voice has been singing you all. There is nothing more delicious than this moment. That when we open up, everything is possible. The field will sing through each one of us when we say yes to that. It's good that I'm on mute and I have all the freedom, and I can do whatever my body, my voice wants to do. Hallelujah to this moment.
So in that hallelujah, we will all, those of us that have spoken, will hold space for those who haven't, allowing this river to continue flowing. And the invitation is to all, and to even the children who might be aspiring to share their voice here as well, bringing that deep, resonant smile. So with that, I open the field for those who haven't shared. Jump in.
We heard that invitation. We've been hearing your voices. It's been so beautiful. And Cooper has been tuning in and wanting to say hi the entire hour. Can you say hi now? Say hi. Yeah, they're waving at you. Yeah. Can you say love you? Well, they can't hear you with this in your mouth. Can you say love you? Love you. Okay, now blow them a kiss. You blow them kisses. They love kisses. Can you blow a better kiss? Go. Yeah, love you. This was a really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful call. So thank you all. We're right here with you. Okay, say bye-bye. 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 And Cooper's been going, Shelly, 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 Shelly. Is that Shelly? Shelly. Shelly. Yeah. Okay. A resonant, loving, kind. Oh yeah, Shelly's gonna. There, Shelly's waving at you. And Danama, and Sharon, and Oriana, Nahid, Cassandra, Sharon, June, and Grace. And John had to go bye-bye. Okay. Say bye-bye. 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 We'll put ourselves on mute and stay with you. Much love to you all.
Thank you, Julie and Cooper.
This is Oriana, and I'm having computer issues that might have a runaway keyboard here, so I'll just make this very brief, and there it goes. And say hello, and thank you for this call, and thank you for Nahid sharing your ecstatic joy. It just touched me deeply. And and this beautiful little child. I always feel the earth as a child, not our mother, but the child that's coming into this world as a new universal being, and that it has a will to live. That it really has a will to live, and connecting in with it, really knowing what that is, what that feels, and what wants to come forth, that this world wants to live. Just as a baby being born, as Barbara Marx Hubbard would always say, that our birth is a crisis, our crisis is a birth. Imagine that we're that little baby heading down the birth canal, and on the other side of it is a whole amazing light being force of universal intelligence that's saying, yeah, you can do it, we want you here, come on, you can do it. So with that, every little baby knows how to smile and laugh and play. And with that, I'm complete.
Beautiful. So something really miraculous has been happening while we've had this call. And you see me move around a little bit, but it's because there's a man here there was a cage all the way around this area, and he's been taking it off as we've been sharing here this morning. And for whatever that's worth, I just think it's just a beautiful metaphor. as well as just looking into the eyes of Cooper. You know that, hi Cooper. The delight that happens when we're in this collective field arising, because everything speaks to us. I think that was the biggest takeaway from reading The Alchemist again, and I highly recommend it. It's just that everything, if we're listening, everything is speaking. Last night I couldn't figure out, why am I waking up at 12:15? I went to bed at 9 and it's only been 3 hours, and I just got really quiet, and all of a sudden I heard these 3 hoots from the owl. You know, everything is speaking to us. Just if all we have to do is just be aware of this ineffable love that's moving everything, and it gives us the way forward. So thank you all so much for showing up here today. How beautiful it is. And just want to share that before we do our beautiful sending of this home frequency energy out to our family and friends and communities and the planet and the earth, that this Wednesday is our public global coherence call, the mentoring, where the mentoring stewards come together, and where you can take this experience just to another level of building this coherent field. And I want to invite everybody, because it's really miraculous. And those of us that participated in Love Lives Here, and those of us that, you know, contributed and or just received the information that's still available to you, and know that this nourishment continues. So consider that on Wednesday. And with that, we'll just invite everyone to come off mute. Thank everyone so much for being here. Share this divine choir of yum, that of love. Yum, 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 yum.